Let's take a look at a budget Rapid Strike Urshifu deck that plays no GXs and no Vs. Welcome back everyone to more from the Sableyes. I'm Mitch and today we're going to be taking a look at Rapid Strike Urshifu, but not the VMAX, the baby that's come out from Chilling Reign. It's a very cool card and we've put it into a deck for you that has absolutely no GXs and no Vs, so it should be relatively easy to pick up online. So here's the deck list. It is down in the description if you'd like to copy it into PTCGO, feel free to do so. And also, thank you very much to everyone who helped me reach the like goal on the last video. That's why you're seeing this one today. TCG managed to get 350 likes by about 2 o'clock, which was a really fantastic thing to see. I'm going to ask, can we reach the same mark? 350 likes on this one. If we get it, there'll be more videos this time tomorrow. So check that one out. Here's the list. Let's talk about it. We have Rapid Strike Urshifu as our main attacker in this deck list for a water and a colorless, which we can obviously fulfill with our Rapid Strike energy. We deal 30 damage times the amount of Rapid Strike Pokemon that we have in play. It's 150 damage for one attachment. It's relatively nice. It's obviously not going to be two-shotting many of our big VMAX threats, but we can potentially get the two-shot with the brand new Inteleon. You've seen this one a number of times already. I don't need to explain it too much. Quick shooting, a very good ability, allowing us to place 2 damage counters on one of our opponent's Pokemon that can potentially get us that little bit closer to taking knockouts on things like Eternatus VMAX, which have 340 HP. It's a long way away. Now, obviously, we need to have more Rapid Strike Pokemon, thanks to our Rapid Strike Urshifu, so a easy Pokemon to put into the deck is our Octillery. It has Rapid Strike Search, allowing us to find more Rapid Strike Pokemon, or sometimes more importantly, some Rapid Strike cards. We have a couple of Korrina and obviously Rapid Strike Energy in the deck that we want to be able to find, and Octillery can do that. We also have one copy of Falinks with the Rapid Strike Squad attack in here. I've put this one in because obviously we can fulfill the attack cost with Rapid Strike Energy, and we can also deal some significant damage to Pokemon like Eternatus VMAX. That means that we don't necessarily need to have our Chilling Reign Inteleons in play. Here is the deck list. Obviously, it is very rotation-proof. The only card that you won't be able to play post-rotation is Mew. My recommendation, just cut that one out and give yourself a 4th Quick Ball. That's probably the best way to go. What we'll do is we'll jump onto the ladder now, some PTCGO games, and we'll check out whether Rapid Strike Urshifu can hang with the big boys. Alrighty, a pretty good start for our first turn here. We've got a Kubfu in the active, and we have a Sobble on the bench. We can also capture energy for Remoraid and then pass. We've got a Drizzile and an Octillery in our hand. That means we're going to be able to really easily get ourselves moving here. And it looks like our opponent is playing a Victini-based deck, and that is really good for us because we're going to be dealing a lot of damage to them based on weakness. Water Pokemon obviously hitting Fire Pokemon for weakness, which is always good. So hopefully we can put some put the pedal to the metal for a second. Barely got that one out. We can get some big knockouts. That would be great. They're playing down the Reshizard here. We do not want them to be able to knock out this Kubfu though. That is a problem. And they've got the Welder as well. So we hope that they don't find energy and switch. They do have the Jirachi to try and get it. So it isn't unlikely. There's a reset stamp. They have the energy, but no switch. Okay, so we have a chance. We have a chance here. Let's go for the Octillery. That's going to be able to help us search out our attacker, which is, of course, the most important thing in our deck. So we will grab that Rapid Strike Urshifu. We have the Rapid Strike Energy as well in our hand. So we're guaranteed to be able to attack, which is fantastic. I will throw that Rapid Strike Energy down. I'm going to play down the Drizzile as well. And grab I think a Level Ball is a good choice here. Either that or a Quick Ball, to be honest. Because we want to find basic Pokemon that are Rapid Strikers. I think another Sobble is a good plan here. We get the Sobble, then we are definitely knocking out the Jirachi, which is fantastic. Now, there is an argument maybe I should have gone for another Kubfu there, but I drew another one, so it doesn't actually matter. But if I didn't have the Sobble down, I wouldn't be taking a knockout. I'd rather take the knockout, to be honest. But we've at least got the Kubfu now, which is good. We can replace this stadium, and then we'll be able to Rapid Fisted Rush for 90 damage and take the knockout on the Jirachi. So, a good start. We have weakness going for us as well, which is always a really good sign. And this Reshizard, I think, is going to be one of the only Pokemon that our opponent has that can realistically take knockouts on our Urshifu. Now, our Urshifu is potentially going to be safe after this Reshizard is knocked out, because Victini VMAX can only ever really do 100 damage to non-V Pokemon. So, if we can knock this Reshizard out, which is not impossible, we can definitely get to 270 this turn. But if we can knock it out, then our opponent is going to be working quite hard to get knockouts with their Victini V. So we'll see how it goes. Looks like they are going to be able to get the knockout here. They're going to Flare Strike into our Urshifu. And we've got a bit of work to do now. We've got the Kubfu, which is always good. So we will be able to get ourselves our Urshifu here, and that's going to be what I search for with Octillery. But now we've got a bit of a problem. We've got a bit of a combination of pieces that we need to find. Our Urshifu is dealing 90 damage at the moment. We need it to be dealing 150, so we need to have 2 more Rapid Strike Pokemon in play. But I also want to find myself another Kubfu, because if my opponent is able to knock this Urshifu out, we don't know what other active Pokemon that they are playing. They could be playing more Reshizard, they could be playing other attackers, and we don't want to lose our only attacking Urshifu, so I think that Kubfu is the smart decision here. Now, what we can do is we can play down the Falinks that's in our hand, and then maybe search for a Inteleon off of this Professor's Research. We're actually super likely to get it. I think we will grab the Kubfu here. We obviously could guarantee the knockout by getting something that isn't Kubfu, but, you know, where's the fun in that? Let's just risk it all off this research. Hopefully we find ourselves an Inteleon. We do in the Evo Incense, which is fantastic. We can put this Inteleon in play, and then we will be able to not only Rapid Fisted Rush for the knockout, because we have 5 Rapid Strikers in play, we'll also be able to use Quick Shooting, and I think that Quick Shooting is going to go onto our opponent's Victini VMAX. That seems like the logical place for it to be. We can Rapid Fisted Rush, take 3 prizes, and now I don't know whether our opponent is going to realistically be able to keep up with us here. I feel like our Urshifu in the active is relatively safe. Our Kubfu on the bench is obviously ready to become an Urshifu. We have one of those in our hand. And we have the boss's orders. So we should be in a good position to go on to win this game. If we don't get the opportunity to knock out the Victini, then we obviously will be able to do something thanks to our Octillery. Maybe we can find another Drizzile to get ourselves moving towards victory. We will see how we go. At the moment, Urshifu seems to be working quite nicely. Looks like they're going to be using Reset Stamp here. That they found off of that Jirachi. Put us down to 2 cards in our hand. But the question is, are they actually going to be able to do anything other than just attack with Victini here? And I don't think that they will. I think that they're realistically just going to be using Jirachi here and then playing Reset Stamp and then passing, because to be honest, they can't afford to put the Victini in the active. If they do, we knock it out and win the game. If they don't attack with Victini, however, they are going to need to... oh, look, okay, so they're going to go for the Heatran. That's fair enough. So Heatran's Hot Burn GX is going to be able to get a knockout here as long as they have a switch. We're getting a Reset Stamped, and we have 2 cards in our hand. That's pretty solid. I think all we realistically need to find is an Energy or a Rapid Strike Urshifu. I think that's the only thing we need to do to win this game. We have all the Rapid Strike attackers in play. All the Rapid Strike Pokemon, sorry. Let's put the Kubfu into the active, and hopefully we can find... well, there you go. We've managed to top deck into it. We could have Marnied for it, but we top decked into an Evolution Incense. That will grab us the Rapid Strike Urshifu, and then we can Octillery for the energy, and that ought to win us the game here. Now, obviously, this is not an every case and every game perfect situation, right? We're not going to be playing fire decks all the time, so we might just jump into another game here and see if we can't win against something that isn't weak to water. Alrighty, so I've just caught my my opponent starting to play. They have a Gourmandized Snorlax and a Sobble in play, and we have not a lot going on. We're going to need to play Professor's Research here, and that's a painful hand. We're discarding a lot of good Rapid Strike Pokemon, which I don't like to see. We've got another Sobble, which is good. I can get rid of the Stadium and find myself a Kubfu, I think. That seems fine. But unfortunately, we don't have the evolution, and we cannot attach this Rapid Strike energy to the Kubfu. We might just attach it to the Sobble and use Keep Calling. We can grab ourselves a Remoraid, a Sobble, and I guess another Sobble. That seems fine. But yeah, we're kind of in an awkward spot here, where we only have... Actually, I should not have gotten that last Sobble. That could potentially come back to bite me. I still don't know what we're playing against. Snorlax and a Sobble suggests that perhaps we are playing against a, maybe a Malamar deck? I'm not entirely sure. This could be anything. But yeah, if we do get knocked out this turn, then we're not in a bad spot. But if we don't, then we've actually not left ourselves with another Kubfu on the bench. So, that could be a problem. There's the Spiral Energy in the deck. Maybe we're seeing a, maybe it's a Blaziken deck? Inkay, no. So we are going to be going up against Malamar. So our strategy is pretty simple here. We're going to need to just take knockouts on Inkays and try and win the game from there. If we can. We'll see how we go. We will see how we go. Also, thank you very much to Nobby, by the way, who's playing against me. This is my friend of the channel, Blake. He's doing a great job. Octillery. We will throw that in. Let's use the escape rope as well. We'll chuck our Kubfu into the active, I think. Depends actually what our opponent wants to give us. He's going to give us an Inkay. Let's put the Kubfu up there, then we can Marnie. We're going to get energy and the Urshifu, which is fantastic. We do get the Urshifu. And we actually find Drizzile as well in that Evolution Incense, so we can get ourselves a couple of those going. Let's Rapid Strike Search. I'm going to grab myself the energy, and then we can also find the Evolution Incense to try and get ourselves some more consistency for next turn. I think it's going to be a Drizzile for Level Ball kind of situation. We will evolve our Sobble, and that will discard the Rapid Strike energy, actually. Maybe I should have evolved literally any Sobble other than that one. That's okay. Let's Level Ball again. I'm going to grab another Drizzile, and we're going to throw that one down as well. And this one we can use to search out pretty much anything that we want. My gut feeling is that an Evo Incense is a smart idea. That can turn into either another Drizzile if we get one, or we can turn it into a Inteleon, which is going to be a very useful Pokemon in this particular matchup. We've got the Drizzile off the prizes, which is good. So we should be ready to go here. Our opponent does have Malamar ready, though. So hopefully they don't get the knockout on the Urshifu. If they do, we are in a bit of strife, because our Kubfu is in our hand and not on the bench, which is always a bit of a problem. They do have the benefit of the Tower of Waters as well. If they elect to not take a knockout, they can always do that. The Drizzile in our hand looks like they don't have the knockout. They're going to use Rapid Strike Tentacles for, how many is that? 3. So just under enough, which is giving us a chance. It's giving us a chance. Let's see. What are we going to go for here? We can do any number of things. Let's Rapid Strike Search. I'm going to grab myself an Inteleon. I think that's a good idea. We'll put the Inteleon down. We can evolve into Drizzile. Or maybe we don't want to. Actually, no, we probably should. We probably should. We'll evolve into Drizzile. We can grab ourselves a... we could get Boss if we want, actually. That's a pretty interesting supporter card to play. We could also grab just a Level Ball, but I guess we're not really searching for anything at the moment. I think Boss is fine. I mean... let's do it. Let's just go for the boss. What we're going to do here is I'm going to boss up the Oricorio. We're going to hit into this. We're going to Evo Incense. We're going to grab... we don't have another Inteleon. Oh my goodness. I've got the Ordinary Rod in my hand. all I have to do is click the correct buttons, and I win the game. That's okay. Let's Rapid Fisted Rush here. I think we're going to miss by just a little bit. So our opponent's Oricorio is left with 30 HP. But this is actually not that big of a deal for us, because the fact that the Oricorio is in the active means that they're going to need to burn an energy attachment to get it out. They don't even have one. They can't use their ability, which is fantastic. So we're actually in a fabulous spot here. We can use Ordinary Rod, grab the Inteleon and the Urshifu back. We're going to Rapid Strike Search again, grab that Inteleon. And now we can evolve. We've got double Inteleon here. Let's Quick Shooting. We'll put 20 onto the Oricorio. And let's Quick Shooting again. We can put another 20 onto that Oricorio. Take 2 prizes, which is always fantastic. We're going to take an Inteleon off of the prizes, which is good, and a Level Ball. Our opponent's going to put the Remoraid in the active, because it's the Pokemon that they want to use the least. So I'm actually going to... I think I'm going to use Escape Rope here, just to make my opponent choose a Pokemon that they would rather have. Because they would rather have Snorlax, Inkay, Drizzile, those kind of cards. The Remoraid they obviously don't want, because they don't have an Octillery in their hand. Since we've got the Stadium, we can retreat for free. We'll Quick Shooting, then I think we put the damage on the Remoraid, because we could potentially knock that out with Inteleon's next turn. And then we take another prize with Rapid Fisted Rush. So we will lose this Urshifu this turn, but we have Kubfu and Urshifu in our hand, and we have 60 damage to place thanks to Inteleon, so it's not actually looking that grim for us at the moment. Even if they do get a knockout, we are in a very powerful position, and our opponent can only Gormandize, and that means that we just go on to win the game. There's nothing that our opponent could do. Even knocking out the Urshifu was not possible for them there. They obviously didn't have any Rapid Strike cards in their hand. We'll take the knockout on the Remoraid, then we will Rapid Fisted Rush and take the knockout on the Snorlax. We got very lucky to 6-0 there. Definitely shouldn't have been that easy, but we did get another win with Rapid Strike Urshifu. So we've got a pretty solid budget deck on our hands here. It can take some wins on the big boys in the format, but it does struggle a little bit. 150 is just a little bit too few damage counters, but you know what? It's still decent. With Inteleon, we can get across the line. I wouldn't expect it to be winning every game, though. It does, however, do what it needs to do quite consistently, of course, assuming that you can find your evolution pieces. Once you've got Octillery and your Drizziles going, then you should be okay, but in the early game, it can have some problems. Value-wise, I'm giving this one an A. Not only are these cards very easy to pick up, but they will also be playable for quite a while, so if you are interested in playing this kind of deck past rotation, then you definitely can. And fun-wise, this one's a B. I like dealing damage, I like putting those damage counters on with Inteleon, but I would like it a little bit more if I could guarantee some bigger knockouts. Maybe if it did 40 damage per Rapid Striker instead of 30, I'd feel a little bit better. Overall, a B- for this particular deck. A pretty solid choice, but definitely not one that you want to pick up if you're trying to win a ton of games. And once more, a big thanks to all of my channel members. Appreciate your Dadbod and Azazel for being Ascended members still. All of those people on the left in yellow as Royal Sableyes are genuine legends, and the people in white, I appreciate your contribution as well. If you'd like to become a member, then there is a join button down below. Feel free to do that. Make sure you click subscribe, and remember that 350 like target. If we get there, then I will do another video tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm kind of scaling them back a little bit and taking some time for myself. Just having a relax. I'll let us stop playing Pokemon for 5 minutes, please. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much, everyone. I will see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.